Hello and welcome to the Every a new episode this week. Where the story hasn't changed. The story is still Gio has to go. The results haven't picked up, the performances haven't picked up, and we're just completely stagnating at the moment. Just we actually stumbled into that World Cup break. To be honest, we even getting a point against St Mirren. So um, aye, just the whole thing's a shambles. We'll talk about it. Took a couple of weeks off to actually just soak in how bad that actually is, because realistically we're just going to be repeating ourselves if we kept on going. But before the World Cup break, I thought it was right to come on, give the thoughts going into that, and see how things can improve as we go on. As you can see for the first screen, it's every single Rangers fan wants this to happen. Like, I've not seen one Rangers fan that is really backing Gio up anymore. I don't see. I think everybody just kind of lost it, to be honest with you, with this season. This season's done. This season is a complete write off already, and it's only November. Absolute shambles that we've been left in, but got to blame Ross Wilson there for his recruitment once again, and then obviously Gio for the team in the pitch. But we'll go on. We'll talk about the first thing, which is going to be the St Mirren game. Yet again, another absolutely dire performance in the league. Another time where we've genuinely been out battled and out fought by a team that wanted it more. Right. St Mirren this season, we should know, obviously had a really good start to the season. Great home record. They've now beat Celtic and drew with us at St Mirren Park. So looking good for them. But just even the team lineup for me, like just looks like he's just threw 11 players at it and thought, right, try this time. Because I mean, Glenn Kamara comes in, Scott Wright comes in, Tillman obviously keeps his place, which is rightfully so, because he's the only one that you could really say recently he's kind of looked like doing anything. Ben Davies again missing out, can't play 2 games in a week, like baffling. And then the rest of the team, you've literally got limited numbers there, but man, your screen there, Sands and King, they both really struggled with the 2 physical strikers, which I thought was going to happen. To be honest with you, Sands just didn't look comfortable at the back at all. And King obviously went off with an injury, but his error led to the opening goal for St Mirren, avoidable. McGregor made a great save, and then Leon King just needs to boot it anywhere. But he's a young guy. That's, I guess, what you'll have to do. But it's basic defending as well. Like, you've got to take into account that if you want to make it at Rangers or anywhere, like, you need to be doing better in the situations. And we find ourselves 1-0 down again, which is the theme of like the past couple of seasons, to be honest, under this team. Chasing games. There's never. Can you think of an away game, bar maybe the recent ones being Hearts and Motherwell, where we've went a couple of goals up and looked comfortable and kind of just been like, right, we're going to win this game? Because you look at every other one, it's like St Mirren, St Johnstone, Celtic absolutely rattled. I don't know if we've played at Tannadice yet, can't remember. Livingston, tough one again. Like, there's not games we're going into and dominating, and just what you see in the pitch for me is just absolutely embarrassing. Yeah, Rangers team, like, embarrassing, and that's got to be down to the managers for telling them what to do, but also on the players as well for actually playing the way they are. Like, I mean, we start off games all right away from home. Like, Tillman probably should have scored. Scott Wright had a header, which was a good save for Trevor Carson. But barring that, like, it's so slow and just it's absolutely awful to watch. It's like I said, I think it's worse, sorry, than Pedro Caixinha's team at times, because I could see even with Graham Murray wobbling, like, you could see a clear identity, like who we wanted to be as a team. This team has nothing about it. Like, there is literally nothing about it. Injuries and so and so. I don't think any player coming into this team would have made a difference, to be honest with you. We're totally mismanaged. We look unfit, and we're just yards and yards behind where we need to be. And at St Mirren, we were lucky. Ryan Kent sort of had a wee bit of form over the past couple of games. He's looked a lot better, more threatening. Took it by the right back, and he got a penalty for it. But then at that's just papering over another crack that if we get beat, there is no doubt in my mind that Giovanni Van Bronckhorst would not be the manager of Rangers anymore. We get the point, obviously, which is you don't want to be losing games, but it has to fucking happen now. Like this is just boring. This is just dull, isn't it?
It's soul destroying, mate. As you said, we've not really done the podcast because we'd be repeating ourselves with what we'd be saying. As I say, I feel like we're going to end up repeating ourselves somewhat yet again. The fact that it's Monday and he's not been sacked yet tells me everything I need to know.
And the fact that you haven't even heard any news outlets.
that's what I'm on about. We need somebody in our team to go and do an interview with Piers Morgan. I need to know what's going on. You know
please,
what I mean? It'd be refreshing. I'd like to know, but it's disgusting, as I say, mate. Performances just boring. As you say, we don't have an identity. We don't have nothing. As I say, you look at the players. I'm watching Alfredo, and you can tell, mate. They're just not enjoying their football. Not one of them are enjoying kicking the ball. Not a single one of them.
As much as we're all Morelos fans, Morelos is done. It's hard to say. I think he's done at Rangers. To be honest with you, I think he's.
You never know. Yeah, well, I think he's checked out, and I think a lot of them have checked out. To be fair, I think a lot of them have had enough of this manager. To be honest with you, you never know. Listen, I don't know about that, but I'm just here to come on and tell you, mate. This guy needs to go, and as I say, we need some communication as fans. You know what I mean? To know what's going on with our club. There's not a single bit of communication. But by the way, if you want to buy a wee poster for your Christmas, with the Champions League game against Liverpool, you can. Even though it was a game where we get absolutely battered. That tells me everything I need to know.
That's where the priorities lie. To be honest with you, just again, rip them off the fans for more money. It's just an absolute shambles, top to bottom. Everything about Rangers. I can't believe how bad we've actually regressed in like a year. Obviously, the signs have been there with some of the players we've brought in over the years under Ross Wilson and that. But looking at the recruitment now, it's just, what are we doing as a club? Like, what are we actually doing? Are we just trying to get worse? Like,
there's no, mate. There's genuinely no plan there, and that's what you've got to. I know, as I say, as a Rangers fan, it's hard to tell me, but you've got to give Celtic credit. There is a clear plan with them. They clearly go out to strengthen every window. With us, I couldn't tell you what our plan is at all. I don't know what the vision is, really. Name any player. I mean, feels like many months ago when we were, do you know what I mean, that Tom Lawrence was in the team and he looked like the best player in the team, as I said to you. Now, look at us, mate. There's nobody really there for me. It's decent. Tillman, no. I'm starting to come around to him. I'm starting to see it. See when you're actually watching it and you think to yourself, do you know what? At least he's trying. Matondo was the biggest waste of money we've ever spent. I'm telling you, mate, that guy is a waste. Clear and utter waste. As you say, maybe Morelos has checked out. He's done. I thought Ryan Kent was done. I think that guy's checked out. But he seems to, in the last couple of games, you say, looks a bit more lively at it. But I don't know. I just think mentally these players are just... You can tell when the players have checked out and all. Do you know what I mean? You can just tell they're like, nah, the fans aren't behind you. We're not going to be... You can just tell. As I say, Piers Morgan, go and do an interview with one of our players, preferably. That'd be nice. Alfredo, come on.
when you actually look at the team that played the game, like, again, just look at how weak that team is. Like,
can we just take a minute to talk about Leon King? Because see, for me, that's somebody who's getting pushed into the team when he's not ready. I think he's just one that's getting put in there with obviously the potential that what he could be, maybe getting sold to a Premier League team.
This season could literally ruin his career with how bad
that's what I'm on about. I would hate for that to happen because the player, as I say, I watched play against Sevilla's under, what was it, 19s or what have you. He was shot. He was going in for a tackle. He was in there and everything, what have you. Just, I think he's getting forced into the team.
He is because there's nobody else to
obviously
play.
There's nobody there, but you know what I mean and all. Like, come on, I don't think he's ready for this.
Nah, the thing is, Leon King, no matter where we go with centre halves in the next year or so, he'll probably be out on loan because he really needs to go and learn his craft before he comes and plays for Rangers again.
Look at the Champions League goals I say with Ajax, mate. Look at him. Do you know what I mean? That's not done to him and all. That captain as well, by the way, Tavernier. Oh, dearie me. I've had enough. We're talking about players, obviously, who were living off of the hype of the Europa League run. Him and John Lundstrom. Attitude stinks, by the way.
I cannot believe how bad John Lundstrom is. Lundstrom, see when he gets sent off in that game against Alishkert in the first half, he was better then than he is now.
See,
absolute joker of a guy, so he is. Oh my God, he's so bad now.
See when he lost that ball in that St Johnstone game, not even tracking back to win it back, you know what I mean?
And then obviously leads to the goal as well.
I'd have subbed him off after that straight away.
If a manager had balls, he would.
I'd have done that. I'd have took him off straight away. I don't know how McCann doesn't get a game. I'm serious, man.
Because it's just, again, highlighting the problem that we don't have midfielders that are performing right. Why? I think we started McCann. He started McCann in one of the league games a while ago. I think it was Dundee United at home.
So depressing, you can't remember, innit?
And you're like, right, maybe he's going to get on the team. He's on the bench every week, clearly looking for his opportunity. Why not give a guy like him his chance? And what really annoyed me is you've got the big centre half, big youngster that was on the bench, absolute unit. We seen him the other day warming up, absolute unit, yeah, guy. You're getting Leon King's debut. Why not go and throw him on as well? He can deal with the two St Mirren strikers. Like, it's going to be his debut for Rangers. Might be a bit nervous for the guy, but I would have still rather him come on than John Lundstram at centre half.
See, that's what I'm on about. This is always fancier. We all know Gio's fighting to save his job. See something like that. See, just going, do you know what? I'm going to throw these two young lads on, see what happens. It's just something for me. Do you know what I mean? Just throw it in it.
It's just, I just don't. He's obviously clearly not the guy to take us forward. That's pretty evident to see. And it's not a case of, we all know he's been hard done by with signings and injuries and all that. We get that. But with the quality of players and like, even that team there should be going out and beating St Mirren, regardless of what weak it is. But we just didn't even show 1 ounce creativity, effort, nothing. It was just like, no, we're 1-0 down again. Let's just pass the ball side to side, cross it in, see what happens. I watched the Celtic highlights against Ross County. Ross County went 1-0 up, obviously, for a penalty. Celtic are probing. Celtic are finding passes in the box, and they eventually go and get the goal by working it through Ross County. What do? Give it to Barisic or Tavernier, cross it in, see if MD's there, do the same thing, repeat. Like, we have absolutely no tactics. Like, we just have nothing. Like, nothing there. This team is absolutely done. And as for the players as well, like, you look at that, McGregor, Sands probably won't be here. Barisic, you would like to hope, would be off. Lundstram will probably be here. Kamara's already away. Apparently, he said fallings out with Gio after getting subbed at half time. Scott Wright won't be here. Ryan Kent won't be here. Tillman, if we pay the money, could be here. Morelos will be away. You look at the team, maybe 3-4 players out of that team will be there next year. And we're supposed to be building a team for the future. Building a team to go and progressively get better, and you could see that was happening when Gerrard and that were here. Like, there was players like you were buying in the summer, the Aribo, that would come straight into the team. Calvin Bassey took him a couple of seasons, but then he came in and became an absolute world beater. There's just no plan for the future. It's really alarming to me that the board don't caring about what's actually happening. They should have been having strong, harsh words to say about Giovanni Van Bronckhorst after that game, after his staff. Pay them whatever and get a fucking decent manager in with a decent style of football that can get the most out of these players here, because you can still get some out of these players, I think, if they're managed right. What I saw was Stephen Robinson, and I put this in the Twitter as well. Like, they're 1-0 up. They're sort of getting they're getting tired, but he's energizing them for he's like, right, we can do this. He's animated in the touchline. Gio just does the same thing all the time. We're behind in the game, and we need we need something to go and spark us forward, and he's just sitting there. Barisic will pass it to Kent, and Kent will get a cross blocked, and he'll go like that. Yeah, come on, guys. I'm like,
but like, you get, I know.
And that just translates to me for the team. Like, surely that's what they're getting treated like every day.
Who knows, mate? As I say, had enough now. We've all had enough, as I say, but it's no good enough anymore. As you say, you're naming the players. See, when you told me there's a potential that we could sign Sands for 5 million, I nearly had a heart attack. I love him. I love the guy. I like him, as I say. I know he gets stick and he gets criticism, fair play. If you don't like him, you don't like him. But 5 million for Sands, are you mad? Even as a Sands supporter, I'm like, come on. She say we need to rip it up again and just start from scratch again, because it's the same. They're not one of the players for me personally.
There is genuinely not one player in that full team that I could say I'd be happy. Like, they've definitely wanted a position to be here. And Gio's coming out in the press conferences before this game saying, "Oh, all the players in this team deserve to be there." On the basis of what? Like, what are you actually like watching? And it's going to get bad for Gio, because he's a likable guy. He's obviously an ex-player, legend for the club when he was here, and he's going to tarnish that legacy if he keeps on going on the way he does, because it's getting worse and worse. And he needs to see if they're not going to sack him. He needs to just go and be like, I'm done. I can't do anything else. I'm away. He has to hand in his resignation, because if he cares about the club as much as he says he does in interviews and that, he'll walk and do his best.
Ego, mate, but his ego will get in the way. That's what I'm on about. He would never do it in that. His ego would get in the way. As he said, "Oh, I'm the guy to take this." You know what I mean? Like, he's not. You're not the guy, mate. You're not the guy to take anything forward. But Jack, don't just remember. Apparently, this is the best team we've had in years. You know what I mean? It really is, mate. It's shambolic. As you say, if it is Morelos' end of the run, the team, mate, fair play. But I think you bring a new manager in, somebody that can get something out of Morelos, he'd still be going. I really just want to see him. Why can't we not play Cholak and Morelos together? That's something I really want to see. But I know that, as we say, we all know they're banking on all these players coming back for injury after the
That's
World
exactly
Cup.
what they're doing.
That's all they're banking on. You know what I mean?
And who's even out injured at the moment? So I've heard Kamara's out as well now. He's pulled out the Finnish squad. He's injured again. So you've got near enough your full back line out injured. So realistically, how many do you think? How many injuries do you think injured players do you think will come back for the first game? I think is it Aberdeen away maybe?
No, it's
Hibs at home or something.
Hibs at home, innit?
Aye, well, for that first game back,
Lawrence,
I could say 2 players, maybe 3 players at most, come back.
Right. I'm just gonna give you my 3 first, then you right. I'll go Lawrence. I'll go Roof. Who's there?
I actually forgot Kemal Roof played for us there. I had to actually.
God, I can't even. I do want to be back by then. No, I'll go Lawrence and Roof will probably be back. That's about it, really.
And out of the longer term ones, obviously we know Cholak will be back. Kamara probably will be back in that time.
Fuck, mate, that's so bad. I'm honestly, mate, it's so depressing. I didn't even know Cholak was out.
Yeah, Yilmaz will probably be back. He had a hamstring injury, so there's no way he's going to be out for 2 months. Like that, he'll be back. Centre half position, you would really hope at least somebody's back. Or because we've got, I think who's it? We've got Aberdeen, Hibs, Celtic at home, Ross County away. Like the games, I'm going to enjoy this 5 weeks, because when the games come back in, this is still the way it is. We're getting further behind. As you say, like these players come back. Well, maybe add obviously a bit of quality to the team, but if they're still playing under the same tactics and manager, nothing's going to change. Like it's as simple as that. The manager has to be removed for the position, and somebody else has to come in.
Out the club, mate. That's as simple as that. He's sucking the life out the club. See, as a fan, I'm not enjoying the game, as I say, and I keep going on about it. I don't think any of the players are enjoying playing for him at all. The writing's on the walls. You say should probably go. You know what? I know I'm not the guy for this. I would like to leave it. What are you? But his ego will get in the way, and that board don't care, as I say, mate. As long as they're making the money, as long as they're rolling that dough in, and they look good to everyone else. That's all they care about.
See, even if I was a board now, this is probably the most shambolic state the club's been in years. Like they can't be happy. I mean, it wouldn't actually blow my mind because all they're thinking about is cash. So if the cash is good, then that's fine. But the club from top to bottom is just in an absolute mess. Like it's just depressing, actually.
How do you go for making this is what I'm on about. How do you go for making a Europa League final and then going backwards? Do you know what I mean? Like just all together as a club. Do you know what I mean? Like I just feel win the Scottish Cup as well, and then just to go backwards, mate.
Finishing the season in such a strong way,
everyone excited. Thought, right, now we're going to kick on and we'll potentially do well in the league, and then just for it to turn out the way it was, like it really is, man. Maybe, as I say, that's all we'll look back fondly on Gio's time, probably as the Europa League run and getting the cup. But everything else, mate, I'm all right. Thanks very much. As I say, just done, mate, man. It's depressing. I feel, as I say, for everyone is because it's no one Rangers fan out there can be enjoying watching a game of football. As I say,
I've talked to Rangers fans that don't even want to watch the games anymore. That's how bad it is at the moment. You could probably stand outside. See, last week at the Hearts game, you could probably stand outside, free ticket, take it, and people would walk by you and not even want to go in. Like, it's just an absolute shambles now. Really, do you think anything will change? Do you think we'll get a new manager?
I don't think so. That's what I'm on about, mate. I think this club, I think the board are so arrogant that they're not going to. Well, they've got the thing be coming up at all, isn't he? When's that second?
Aye, December time, that'll be interesting.
They'll be getting it there. I hope there's people there that'll be giving them it tight, because listen, I genuinely feel like there's no genuine, real communication with us to let us know, listen, this is what's going on, this is what haven't you. And by the way, yet again, man escapes with conflict. We're all focusing on Gio. Ross Wilson, he should be dragged out. He should be dragged out or thrown out the window for me. This, honestly, the recruitment, I know we're going to be talking about the recruitment, what have you, on the episode we get coming up and all that, but listen,
he's an absolute joke. Like,
scumbag. Honestly, the recruitment has been disgusting, really, when you think about it.
Like, for every couple of good players we've signed about 8 duds, and it's like you're paying $3 million for Rabbi Bitondo based off what? Like, what has he done? Like, to pay that amount of money for? Sands agreeing to a deal where you, if he plays well, pay £5 million for him. Like, what? Like, what are we actually doing? Why are we not getting, like, seen another one on Twitter? It was like, I think it was Hatate, O'Reilly, and somebody else for Celtic, all cost less than we paid for Ridvan Yilmaz. And I've got nothing against Yilmaz. I was happy about signing a young promising left back, but they've got 3 really strong players for their team, and we've got one that's...
You look at that other boy that obviously you were hyping up and you really wanted us to sign as well. He's away to the MLS now to play in Portland, isn't it?
Aye, and looking at that, it was like, at the time, the deal was probably out of our hands in terms of the money. They wanted a strong fee for him, which was fine, but see you looking back at the players we've signed in that, like I was obviously excited about signing new players, but deep down, I just knew, but something, it was just not good enough, the signings we were making. And then when we stopped the business after the Champions League and that, I'm just like, we are setting ourselves up for failure, and look where we are right now.
Just to sell it to the key players, as I say, the amount of work Joe Aribo actually did in the middle of the park, do you know what I mean? God knows how many yards he ran and what have you, do you know what I mean? Bassey at the back as well. Let they two go, and then not really replace Aribo, really, to be fair.
No.
I like Davies. I like him. I think he's a decent centre half. I like him. You know what I mean?
Davies will be good when he'll
grow
back and that.
I like him. Him and Goldson together. I like that pairing. As I said at the time, mate, everyone was hyping up about John Souttar signing. Never really seen the appeal yet. Never thought he was good enough to play for us, to be fair. Maybe I'm wrong in saying that, but I don't think he was good enough at all. Too injury prone, what have you. 5 million for Sands is ridiculous. I thought 3 million. But even think 3 million for Sands, to be fair.
I just think the deals that we get ourselves into are just, it's on him there as well. Like, Ross Wilson is agreeing and like scouting these players. Yes. We scouted better players on our own fucking podcast that would do a better job for Rangers, and that we could have went out and got. And it's just what if and all that stuff in it. But 5 weeks off to sit and just not think about Rangers once. If they go and sack a manager, then fine. I'm all for coming back for the break and being a bit more excited. But at the moment, I don't want this World Cup to ever end, to be honest with you, because as soon as it comes back around, if we're in the same position we are with the management and the squad and that, we're going nowhere fast. That was...
Mate, listen, it's, as I say, we've come on, we do the podcast today, but even still, mate, I'm just like, I just want to avoid it. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to just say enjoy the World Cup and what have you, but I'm more likely enjoying the documentary about FIFA that's on Netflix now, about the corruption and all that part. But I'm just, I didn't really want to talk, because you say, mate, you're repeating yourself, but these two need to go in, and as I say, the whole board, obviously, potentially that American woman or whatever you, don't know if that's just rumours now or whatever you, but it would have been nice to have new ownership. I just hope we come back potentially with a new manager, potentially with some players back fit and ready to go, and see what happens. But if it's the same manager, it's done really, innit?
I think so, but I guess we'll just need to see what happens, because I think Ibrox and just the fan base at the moment is just scunnered with everything.
They're just all, we all know the writing's on the wall. Everyone does. Do you know what I mean?
Everybody bar the board.
Somebody's scared to pull the trigger, and I don't know why they're just pull the damn trigger.
Mm-hmm.
As you said to me, they should fire him out of that cannon when we were at the game the other night. You know what I mean? Like, fire him out.
Aye, but aye, that's enough depression talk, I think, for the night. Yeah. Aye, we'll do a podcast. Not sure about next week, but at some point over the next couple of weeks, we'll have a tier list on here. So to bring a bit of fun into it, we're going to rate all the Rangers players so far halfway through the season. I genuinely think there could be maybe one player in like probably the good section. Like that'll be interesting to talk about. Because in past seasons, I mean, we've been quite positive. So it'll be nice to talk about that. But until then, if you could like, subscribe, share, always very appreciated. And until then, we'll see you.